So everyone, before I give you my thoughts on Logan, I just want to show you this really cool collectible ticket I got when I first saw it in IMAX. Isn't it neat? I mean, look at the artwork. It kind of looks like a Drew Streisand and poster, doesn't it? And at the back, Logan, experienced in IMAX, and I recommend that too. Let's talk about Wolverine. He is not just undoubtedly the best character in the X-Men comics, but he is one of the greatest comic book characters with his gruff persona, healing powers, and interesting backstory. And when 20th Century Fox started their X-Men franchise, a virtually unknown Australian Broadway performer got cast in the role. For 17 years, Hugh Jackman solely played Wolverine and made the character his very own. So why is it that whenever they make movies centering on him, they turn out boring, ridiculous, and a complete slap in the face? But that will all change when we will get Hugh Jackman's very last ride as Wolverine, Logan. At first, nobody really knew what this movie would be like. The first tidbits of info that we got was that it would be loosely based on the Old Man Logan comics. When we got the first trailer, it was very surprising to see how different it looked with its very grim tone and dramatic emphasis. It certainly got a lot of people very curious and interested. And I am very proud to tell you that in my opinion, this movie delivers a very stellar and emotional send-off for our favorite mutant and the man who's played him all these years. This movie takes place once again in the not too distant future, only this time, mutants are sadly pretty much extinct. Logan has aged significantly and his healing powers are slowly fading away from him. He works as a chauffeur driver where he cares for a very mentally ill Charles Xavier, whose brain can be used as a destructive weapon whenever he gets a seizure, unless he is medicated. But things turn around when this mysterious girl appears who is haunted by operatives. The thing about her is that she is exactly like Logan. She has metal claws and is extremely vicious. Logan and Charles make their way to protect the girl named Laura and get her to a safe haven known as Eden, which is a place in the X-Men comics. Yeah, those comics do exist in this universe. I mean, if Captain America can have his own comics, then so can the X-Men. As I said before, the tone of this movie is so dark and savage with cold-blooded violence. They don't really shy away from showing any blood and gore, and it's very refreshing. As for Hugh Jackman, he totally gives his all in this movie. The movie does a superb job in showing in excruciating detail the agony and struggle that he's going through. There's even some talk that Hugh Jackman should get an Oscar nod for his performance, and I'm very open to that. I mean, he has brought up a good point in his opening number when he hosted the Oscars. How come comic book movies never get nominated? You gave one to Heath Ledger, here's your next candidate. And I will admit, it will totally make up for what happened this year. FYI, it was on my birthday, so it really hit me hard. But I digress. Patrick Stewart also gives a fine, painful performance as Charles Xavier, this time as a man trying to find meaning in his life again after he's lost so much and trying to help Logan once more and this little girl. Even if he was getting all the praise for this movie, this is also Patrick Stewart's last movie as Charles Xavier, so I like to take a moment and tell Patrick Stewart that we salute you, and it will be very sad to see you go too. There is one element in the movie that I think people would be split on. Without giving too much away, another character gets introduced. His role may be a tad cliche, and I will admit that when I first saw him, I was a bit boggled, like, what's happening? I'm lost here. But I felt he raised the stakes for our main characters and proved to be a very frightening threat. On the whole, Logan is the complete opposite of the other Wolverine movies. It is more thrilling and unlike anything the other X-Men movies were, which should please almost everybody. It's just unbelievable how top-notch this movie turned out. People are saying that it is on par with The Dark Knight, and honestly, I can't argue with that. Just when you think it couldn't get better than the other X-Men movies, this one blows the others out of the water and gives the Wolverine movie that we deserve. So yeah, Hugh Jackman left on a very high emotional note. And even if we have another person play Wolverine, he will always be incomparable. So I'm giving Logan my very strong approval. I highly recommend that you guys go see it, and I will warn you that you might get teary-eyed and also be a bit grossed out by the violence, but if you're in that sort of thing, then go check it out.